Pixel dust.
Pixel dust. Wonderful. Welcome to the episode, everybody.
I like
episode 121. That's good, isn't it?
1-to-1.
And we're having a 1-to-1 with you today as our final Hat Chat of the year.
Hey, Trott, who did that lovely tingle there?
That was Malix. Thanks,
Malix.
Malix.
That was really nice.
That's my pseudonym.
Yeah, I instantly liked it.
Alex.
I thought, this sounds fucking great.
Yeah, how was
and then,
your riff?
Suddenly my beatboxing comes in, and then
It's all about
the Pixel Dust tune comes in. I'm an asshole.
Well, that's because you make tunes that you enjoy.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, welcome. I am Chris Trott. Slightly bunged up today, sorry.
Oh, hi, Chris Trott. I'm Ross Hornby. Nice to meet you.
There you are.
I'm Alex Smith, and I've
No one
mainly
asked.
been bunging.
Bunging.
I've been bunging Chris Trott up with expanding foam.
Oh shit! Not the expanding flame again.
I'm fully bunged, sorry. But yeah, this is the last one of the year. Hope you all have a happy holiday and stuff.
Yes.
Whatnots.
Or you have had one.
Maybe you had
a
one
good
already.
one if you're listening to this after Christmas.
Yeah.
Or whatever you celebrate.
That camera is really dark, isn't it?
It's dark,
it's
yeah.
a bit dark on those cameras,
too late.
yeah. But these people, most people are listening, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a listening episode.
If not, you can see us on this big wide on youtube.com/hat chat.
Look how
Hat
bright
chat.
the wide is.
Yeah, don't worry
Wonderful.
about it. It's all good. Anyway, let's kick things off with our hypotheticals,
Just boot it in the face.
supported by our Patreons. Thank you, Patreons.
Point out, this isn't going to be Christmas themed either.
Not very Christmas themed
Just
at
saying
all. Maybe you have too much festive cheer going on right now, and you need something just real.
That's why I'm wearing a Pleasure Elf Christmas jumper as a
Nice.
token of the festive season,
Token festive
and
season.
that's pretty much it.
season
I'm
merch.
pretty sure we'll talk pretty much minimally about Christmas.
Good.
Hot take, though. I reckon people are getting over Christmas.
Getting over
I think
it.
so too.
You think so?
I think it's just an age thing.
No, I think that too.
I think
There's a
there's
combination.
still a lot of people very excited for Christmas.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, obviously this is contrary to my previous comments.
Yeah, we're not
we won't
talking
talk
about it,
about
yeah.
Christmas, but we're talking
Yeah.
about Christmas now. And I guess, yeah, well, it's the cost of living
Yeah.
crisis, which as well is just like, well, do I need to spend excess amounts of money
Mm-hmm.
for something that's, just a day?
it's just
I'd rather spend more on, like, kids or like
Or a
the niece,
birthday.
nephew and stuff. So, or a birthday.
Birthday's more sentimental, isn't it? Nice.
Yeah.
If you're going to give a gift
It's
to
about
somebody.
that person.
But didn't they say
Yeah.
recently there was like a study saying that like most of the UK, well, there's a majority of the UK now that aren't Christian.
Well, only something like 45% of
Was it
the
45?
UK are saying
Religious.
that they are Christian, I think.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not religious, it's Christian.
Because I think some people, even if they're atheists, are like, well, I grew up in a Christian family, and then they kind of just embrace.
Isn't there something...
Basically, less than half of the UK is now Christian,
Mhm.
and probably, which means that it's no longer a majority Christian country.
But there's a growth of Muslim
Do you think?
in the UK.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Possibly. I think it was 9% of the UK is
Yeah, there's-
Muslim, which I thought was actually surprisingly low. I would have thought that
Yeah.
more than 9% of the UK would identify as Muslim. But yeah.
I think I misremembered hearing that Muslim is now the dominant religion in the UK.
Which newspaper
Don't
are you
know.
reading? Because you never know.
Daily Star.
That's a good point. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that. But interesting.
Do you
yeah.
think
Most of the atheists
only
know.
Christians should celebrate Christmas then? Hardline.
No.
It's
They should
become
gatekeep.
It's become Black Friday. It's basically become a
it's-
consumerist.
Yeah, because I think the value's there, isn't it? It's just like,
Yeah.
as everyone's spending time with their family or whatever and having tasty food. I could do that every weekend.
Well, Christmas kind of got
But the presents, though.
butchered from winter solstice anyway, which is an old pagan tradition,
Mhm.
and all the things about I don't know, trees and shit and Santa Claus, all that.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I have to comply with it all. I'm, you know me. I'm quite contrarian. And
No. Come on. See, that was me being contrarian.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Some people lean
If
into
I
it
have,
hard.
I like you say, I really I understand that kids, right? Kid is for kids, right? Like I remember being a kid.
Yeah.
I remember getting
It's
really
magical.
excited about getting stuff. It was fun. It is
Do you
good.
think there's something morally wrong about lying to children, though?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think there's anything. It's all contextual. Much like
Well, I guess it's building a hope to something that doesn't exist. But isn't that?
it's not that
what
much of a hope, though,
Christianity's
is it?
all about?
I mean, when you find out Santa Claus doesn't exist, you're just like,
He does.
I don't remember being like, oh my god, no. I was like, but you're still gonna get me gifts, right? Also, like, why are
We
you
don't
letting
have
this
to put
dude
out-
into our home?
But did you
Like,
ever try,
my parents
did you ever try and
would
catch
put-
him out though?
Did your parents ever put like this one's from me and Dad and this one's from Santa
Yes.
Claus? Did they do that for you?
Well,
like,
when I was young.
yeah.
When I was younger, what they would do
Like
is put
17,
basically
18,
a
sort of
pillowcase
something.
of
Right.
presents,
Yeah.
and then like from Santa, whatever, outside your door.
Yeah.
So when you wake up at like
That was great.
5 a.m., like, whoa,
Yeah,
presents
yeah.
are just here.
Yeah.
Where did they come
Magical.
from?
That
Yeah.
is magical.
And then, but then the sneaky part of me would want to see where Santa is, and kind of like stay up a bit later and like.
Hold on,
Same with the Tooth Fairy.
we've got a live chat here, and a lot of people just
Told you about the
finding
Tooth
out
Fairy.
now that Santa's not real. And I think we
shit.
should have let
We
that in
should
with
have
a
had a look at our
warning.
demographics because I don't think anyone under 30 listens to us. So
Yeah. I can't
Sorry.
believe there's anyone. Maybe if somebody's
Ooh.
overheard it,
maybe
somebody's child has
my
overheard
children
it.
were in the room.
I don't remember believing in Santa ever. I always thought this is my parents doing
remember.
this.
I was trying to
I remember.
wrap my head around the idea of it because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like it's, he comes down a chimney.
We don't
it's
have
like,
a chimney.
well, yeah.
I had to- I had to think-
Well, we live in a
this is
flat
when I
with no
started-
fucking chimney.
I started questioning it as a young kid.
Yeah.
It's like our chimney's blocked. I know this.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
the builders,
Yeah.
and they were like,
It's not
"How
safe
is-
to
he's
use."
not going to come down that tiny trickle vent, is he?"
Oh.
I didn't know it was a trickle vent at the time.
Yeah.
I now know it's a
But that would be
habit.
masked quite quickly with like, well, he doesn't
Yeah.
have to use a chimney. He's
Well,
magical.
that's the thing.
He's a
got,
magical. It's like, well, is he in the sky? Is he?
No, they said that he's got a magical key to get in the front door. And I'm like, well,
This feels dangerous.
this is
It feels like you're
dangerous
just
now.
starting to be like,
Yeah.
well, hang on. What if a kid like hears rustling in a maybe you're in a dodgy neighborhood and they're like, well, I'll just open the door. It's probably Santa. It's like, it's not Santa. Don't open the door.
That's not a magical key.
Yeah.
That's a gun.
Not a magical key.
This is a B&E.
We've been lying to you. This is the time to say it. He's not real, and that's a killer.
Get the gun. Yeah, no. I just think that like it's just one of these things that like when I started this with, I think people are getting over Christmas. I think that if people were given a viable, like culturally acceptable alternative, they'd love some change. Because I think
What
there's a
about
lot
the
nowadays.
Coca-Cola polar bears.
It depends on who
Holidays are
you
coming.
are, isn't it? Like the holidays are coming thing was really good. And
Great capitalism.
People
Yeah,
love
yeah.
those
that's a-
big red trucks coming through there.
I mean, but they never do, like, and you never see it. And also, I've
That's
never
what
been
Bristol.
excited to see a soft drinks delivery. Like, you know, like I never thought that. I'm like, wow, look, there's a fuck.
Holidays are coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like
there's
my
loads of fizzy
holiday has
drinks
never
in
been
there.
about drinking Coca-Cola. Like,
No, yeah.
it doesn't happen.
But-
So like,
But at the same time, I'm glad it's a thing that exists in the sense of like people have a break.
a festival
Right.
and a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ritual. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
exactly.
A 2-week break where people are like, "What the fuck day is it? I don't even know anymore."
Well, it's
Because
like
after
summer
Christmas.
where it's just like people start just having naturally barbecues and meeting up. Like there doesn't need to be a specific
Yeah.
event.
It'd always be nice if there was a summer Christmas. You know, like I'd like that because we're wasting. Like in England anyway, like these months around Christmas are pretty grim. You know, like
There's something
usually
nice
it's just
about
like
wearing jumpers though, and it's miserable outside, but you're cozy
Yeah.
inside having
yeah,
a meal.
Yeah,
That's quite nice. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're
But
making
like,
the
wouldn't you
most of
rather it be like cold and snowy rather than just
well, there's the thing though.
dark and
that's,
wet?
That's what's been sold to
Well,
us.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you think about like Australians aren't celebrating Christmas in the same way that you see it on all the films, and it's always snowy, and it's like how many times is it? Is it going to be a white Christmas this year in the UK? It
Yeah.
rarely fucking is, and it's just like it's just this fucking Christmas
Although we've
wet
been
dream
seeing
that's
more
sold
snow
to kids.
Yeah.
recently. So thanks to the old climate change, we're getting more snow.
Yeah.
It's
Just
going to
pretty
get
sweet.
hotter next year as well.
Yeah,
which should be fun.
and the expense of most
then-
of the animal kingdom going extinct. We get a snowy Christmas.
Yeah, that would be
Just
dope.
nice.
I mean, we'll
all I'm
reintroduce
saying is
wolves.
Christmas is full of lies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they really build
It's
it
full
up.
of lies. We're lying to children.
But
We're
we're
lying about
also
the
lying
fact
to
that
each
it's gonna be
other.
snowing. We're lying
Because-
to each other.
Because we are. Because, like, like you say, there are some very human parts of it that are very good and very important. Like getting together, seeing people, like, trying, just enjoying
Yeah.
each other's presence is very, very good. for
Nude.
people.
It's a good wrap up for the year.
Nude, exactly. But there are, I think, many elements of it that we would all somewhat agree on, that we all perpetuate, right? And this is what I say by we're lying to each other, because like you ask anyone, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't get you a good gift this year, or I didn't spend a lot of money on you this year, and they're like, they don't care. They care that you thought about it, that you were worried about it, or
I'm
whatever.
pretty pissed
Like
off if I don't get the gifts
a
I
Wii,
asked
yeah,
for
you want a new Wii.
on my list.
Yeah,
I stress
yeah.
about gifts. I was like,
Yeah.
that's why I just vouchers.
And most
now.
people
It's
were
just
like,
vouchers.
I don't want
can't
you
be
to
fucked.
stress.
Yeah.
Like because you don't want to cause someone stress.
No, I do.
Like, yeah.
If I don't get the shit I want, Like, I make their next year living hell.
Well, this thing, I guess, when we're at age, and also we have, people have jobs.
That's the thing. Like, we're so hard to buy for anyway.
I think that's the thing. I mean, we got into an industry where you can buy a PlayStation on your business, which is honestly ridiculous for most people to even imagine that. So,
and even then, like, we do brand deals and stuff like that. We have a company that is able to provide us keys.
But it's the same for
maybe we're uniquely spoiled.
The same for my brother. Like, I can't buy anything for my brother because he earns vastly more than I do, and it's just like he can buy anything he wants. It's just like, well, so you just do a kind of a gesture of goodwill and get him something
pat on the back,
nice and
pat on the back. There you go.
Well done for surviving the year, son. You're not my son. Brother.
Anyway, that's all the Christmas stuff out of the way that we weren't going to talk about.
Well, it's done now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done now.
Have a good one if you had one. Let's
do a very relevant hypothetical situation, shall we?
Sure.
This is the number one voted, Ross, and you have to read the whole thing.
Okay, right. It looks long. There's bullet points here.
Good luck. It's quite festive, so keep it festive.
You are part of the crew of the Iron Thread, an experimental spacecraft traveling between the fabric of reality, trying to discover alternative worlds. Due to the unique time flow of the fabric... the time flow of the fabric. A 1-month journey on the outside is 980 years on the inside. So the crew has to sleep in stasis chambers, which contain 100 stasis pods each. Because of the limited nature of supplies, especially the food, most of the crew sleeps, only having maintenance teams of 100 wake up every decade to maintain the ship and fix any damage, and then go back to sleep a month later. However, when you awake to discover that not only has none of the maintenance been done by the prior team, but 1, the drains are clogged. 2, half the food has been spoiled due to it's being left out of its stasis pod. Number 3, the upstairs bathrooms are flooded with water. 4, this is quite the list. Number 4, exposed electrical wires have been ripped from the walls and left all over the place. Number 5, the primary fuel tank has had several gaping holes in it, and someone has tried to plug the holes with food. 6, the records and security footage has all been deleted. Number 7, the med bay has been ransacked and most of its supplies have been damaged. Number 8, the airlock wasn't properly sealed, so a third of the ship has been ripped off and sent into the fabric. 9, the flight console is damaged and sticky. Number 10, most of the E-cells, which you use to power your equipment, are nowhere to be found. And the ones that you can find are either destroyed or haven't been charged since their last use 10 years ago. So you won't be able to use them for a day. 11. The damage to the wiring has caused the stasis pods in 2 of the chambers to malfunction, meaning some of the people are dropped out of stasis but remain asleep, causing them to waste away. While others remain in stasis but are woken, meaning they can't move, speak, or have access to any of their senses.
They're just locked in.
They just exist in a void for upwards of a century. Your team have to decide what to do, and lots of ideas are thrown around, but ultimately the choice falls to you. What do you decide on?
So it's a team of 10, right? That gets woken up every decade.
So many things.
I'm just going to fucking space myself.
Yeah.
I'd look at that mess and just be like...
I'm going to try the AirPod.
There's at least 11 problems I can suss out.
I go back to sleep and hope I'm not one of the ones that has a pod malfunction.
That wastes away, always locked in.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted Ross to read all that out, to be honest. Well, it's quite an elaborate...
Does it say we've travelled yet? Because I could just turn around and go back into dry dock.
Due to the unique...
No, we have been travelling.
You're part of the crew, experimental spacecraft traveling between the fabric of reality, trying to discover alternative worlds.
That's a good point. We might not even taken off yet.
Due to the unique time flow of the fabric...
This isn't finished!
This is clearly not done.
But it's already mentioned that...
Who made this? Tesla America?
We've been on this at least a decade.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I've been going for a decade already.
It to have had an error.
I pull over at the nearest space service station and I say...
We're in the fabric.
Hey, I got one of those shitty American Teslas. The panel gaps on this baby are huge.
Flight control is fucked and sticky.
It's all sticky. Somebody's used food, which I don't know what were the hiring parameters.
They're stuffing the fuel holes with the food.
What were the parameters for getting on this ship? Because surely everybody knows that using food to plug a fuel hole.
One person.
This is crazy. A 1 month journey on the outside is 980 years on the inside.
Yeah, so
It's like a really shit, like, what,
I
like...
can't even get my head around that.
it's really slow on the inside, and we're not getting that far.
Barely traveling.
It's like, hey, it's usually just a month to there, but you want to go inside something that will make it take 980 years? Not really.
Guaranteed one guy's going to go insane and then
This is a
stuff
prison,
food in
isn't
the
it?
fuel
Oh, God.
injectors.
This is a prison ship.
A punishment ship.
Yeah, this is a prison ship.
The drains are clogged.
The drains are fucking clogged.
Because
Somebody's
somebody's
spoiled.
I know what
spent
that's
so
like.
much.
So what happened? I
Drains.
want to know what happened in the previous unlock.
Well,
10
first
years
step
ago.
is
it decades?
survival, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're going to live. So I'd unplug the food from the fuel things, dust off any fuel, and start eating that.
Right.
Or start
You're eating
rationing it.
fuel,
Well, you're
No, the
unblocking
food
it.
that's stuffed in the holes.
but then the fuel just starts leaking.
And one half of it's covered in
And then
fuel.
I need another team member to like seal up, maybe take the wasting away pods.
Use parts of their body
Use
to
parts-
plug holes.
No, not their body.
Have a barbecue.
Their cryo chamber.
Yeah.
Take strip the metal from that and then weld that.
Have you
'cause
got
they don't need
tools?
those
Have you got
Do you think
remedial
it's
tools?
unsafe to have a barbecue in space? I mean, I know the answer.
Well, it depends on the oxygen mix in the
Well,
cabin.
I mean,
doesn't
how
it?
do you clear how are you clearing that air sufficiently? I
Just
guess.
doing this, like waving your
Yeah.
hand.
Right, it will waft it into the airlock and then we'll
Waft
press the
it
button.
in. Yeah.
Well, often, yeah,
Just gone. Nice.
it's like flushing a toilet on an
Ah,
airplane.
yeah.
You just got to do it every so often. Do you guys ever do that to like clean your butt?
What?
Do you ever
Wait,
like get
what?
so deep in the airplane toilet that it just sucks all the filth off of your asshole?
You're trying to give yourself a prolapse.
I've always
That
been
just sounds like you're trying to-
terrified of that prospect.
It's the fact that I have to stand up and look at it and go,
There's so many warning signs saying close the lid when you flush.
and I look.
Right, like there's
I look into the eye.
air dryer, air fryer, air bidet is the next invention.
Air bidet.
Air bidet. It uses
just
high
blows.
pressure air to
so it
suck the
sucks. It
filth.
doesn't.
I reckon
blow
it would. What about that UV light
Okay.
that kills bacteria? Surely that could be the thing.
But that's only going to kill the bacteria. It's not going to take the physical
I
like
know.
chunks.
So okay, so it could just be a Dyson air blower with a UV light on it.
Isn't
So it blows it away.
Stink though. As well. I mean, tissue paper is not a good solution. We've just got used to it.
There's another thing
Bidet's the solution.
involving air which I found fascinating.
I think it
Well,
depends on
not
the wiper.
fascinating.
No, I'm too rough with my
Do
arsehole.
you know they used to do in vaccine injections with
Using
Oh, I
high
saw
pressure
that.
air.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
really
nuts.
painful.
That is nuts.
Only up until like 2000 did they stop.
And they apparently the reason they stopped was because there's a lot of carrying of infections between
Between the
uses.
things.
Also, it was more painful than an injection.
I
So
would have
they-
thought there'd be risks of
Oh,
like,
apparently the
like,
needle at the time was way thicker than it is now,
Yeah.
but they've improved needles to be like.
Man, yeah, no, I had a
Tiny.
blood test the other day. No, absolutely fine. Didn't even feel a thing. I was just like, shit. Keep
I-
doing it. Put some
I had
H
a
in me.
flu jab, and I hate it. I hate needles. It's one of my.
Oh, I was worried about because I didn't like needles either. But
Oh.
like that's why I was surprised because it was fine. But maybe
You-
like I have heard stories where people like had nurses which had to kind of double dip because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I think I've missed the.
I
Hang on,
watched
give
my
me a second.
girlfriend have a bad blood extraction.
Oh,
I just sat there while this person
Fuck off.
it's
they jammed
the
it
worst.
in,
I'm so sorry.
and they got it stuck on the way out. So you saw the skin like pull,
Oh fuck.
and and you saw the needle on the inside.
Oh,
flick,
you watched.
and
I
then
see. I actually looked away
blood
because
was
I was just like,
pissing out.
I just don't want to see it. I don't like. I think there's more of a stress in my mind of it rather than actually happening. And it was just literally the fact that I hadn't had an injection in a while since like the vaccines, and even then those vaccines were really quick and painless.
Considering like I don't like other gory shit, I'm fine with needles. It's weird.
Well,
Do you know
I
the
think I am
Star
now.
Trek
It's probably all the
injecting
H I
things
take.
were inspired by that air injection method. You know, right? The
Oh,
ones where
okay,
they just
with
go
Yeah.
that thing. Yeah. Similar idea. But yeah, it's funny that we've now abandoned it. It's really like I know we all look for it these days. Like the technology that everyone's like, this is going to be the next big thing, and you're like, it's totally not going to be the next big thing. Like you're always kind of looking for trying to call that out. But that's an example of it. The air thing where people were like, oh, this
You
is
could
the
see
future.
where it came from though. It's like there's no needle anymore.
Yeah, it's a
To
great. Yeah, it
replace the needle.
seems like a great idea.
But apparently it's way more painful.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just a
You're
jet
firing
of
high pressure.
yeah, which, through the skin. Was it
Apparently
just
it
into the skin?
happened in the military a lot as well.
Because it was faster as
Yeah.
well, wasn't it?
They
Yeah.
were just
yeah.
nailing through people. Just
But it was,
snacks.
but they would transmit like I think they would still transmit like hepatitis.
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
a
that's
lot
right.
of people got hep from
Happy
it.
hep.
Fun.
Anyway, yeah. So this situation is fucked, and
Yeah.
probably-
So back on the ship,
back on the ship.
I've given everyone hep.
I mean, yeah, it's
100
very
alive.
difficult to assess what's. I mean,
I think
why is the damage? Why is the flight console sticky?
one person clearly went insane and fucked everything up.
Right, yeah. Well, that's. I
Literally.
mean, I think that would happen probably earlier than the 10 years. Although I guess they stop every 10 years to do this. So
There'll be a psychological breakdown of the people that wake up to this hellhole. So you'd have to like take leadership of that and make sure people don't go further crazy.
yeah,
Right. And then
I'm surprised the guy in Interstellar
allocate-
didn't go crazy.
Huh?
Well, because it's the same kind of idea of like he was stuck in
I know.
on Interstellar, so they go down to that
30
separate
years,
planet,
wasn't it,
which is
something?
like basically just shallow waves. And yeah, like was it? Yeah, what was the?
I think it was 30
Time
years,
dilation.
'cause he went grey.
I don't think it was 30, was it? It was like
Did he spend 30 years up there?
it was a long time. Like it was like you
Does
say,
anyone know?
just,
I mean-
just like
But it was a long time up there to the point where he went grey. So he was just he's
I
spent
think it was 30
a huge chunk of his life just sitting in a spaceship waiting for people to come back, and they were just tripping over themselves over these waves, like trying to grab bits, and it's just like fuck,
It was
we're
minutes.
a few minutes is costing years of this guy's life. They go up there. I wouldn't be surprised if you go a bit mad,
If he
Yeah.
or just have given up and try to move on, or try to travel somewhere else.
also impressive that the ship held together, for 30 years and like all the systems kept operating.
Yeah.
Like my god.
There's a future in it.
Yeah, but it was the future, but it wasn't that far in the future.
It had that slab robot.
Yeah, it had
That did
TARS.
look advanced.
TARS.
Yeah. Man, that was so good, that film. And I loved all the props and stuff they made.
Is that Nolan's
the-
last
so
best
good.
film?
Well, he's done
No.
Oppenheimer now, hasn't he? This new one coming up.
Where they
which,
set off a real nuke.
Yeah. But is it actually real?
No, they did a real effect.
Yeah.
What, like a
Like
flashing?
a big explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, did they
And
really
also
do a
they
real life-
created
Oh,
these
that's
like
pretty
really
cool.
crazy like practical like sets that look like parts of an explosion so that it gave more like depth to what it was really cool. And also
I saw the trailer and I didn't really know what
I
it was
feel like
about,
that's-
so I was like, which is kind of good, to be fair.
Is that Chris Nolan's new like gimmick, where to sell the movie, it's like, what's Chris Nolan doing for real this time?
yeah. I mean it's
I
a
guess
great
so, but
gimmick.
They always brag about the kind of use of IMAX cameras as if anyone really cares.
Yeah, I think he's
which I don't
upgraded
think
from
they
that.
do in
I
reality.
think it's now
'cause
like big
it-
gimmick.
What if anything is more frustrating, because when you watch it at home, you just suddenly the black bars disappear. That's the equivalent from a home viewing experience. So it's just the black bars. Oh, look, they used an IMAX camera for this shot. Why don't they use the fucking thing for the whole thing? I guess it's because it's quite
It's
a massive
super
fucking camera,
expensive,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's huge. It's big. Can't really get it in small spaces.
Unwieldy, yeah.
So I realize why they can't use it in every shot, but like that gimmick's dead. Same
Yeah.
as 3D.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely even saw any like adverts for Avatar. I've seen like one.
No. I'm
Which is
also
impressive, 'cause,
not
like-
going to see it on principle.
Well, I'm not going. I just can't be bothered. I don't really care.
One of the people that worked on
But then
it,
it's not. I don't know where the demographic.
because they worked on it so long ago, they said, "Oh, I thought it had already come out and flopped."
Oh, somebody who worked on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they didn't hear about it. I'm assuming it'll do fine, but like,
Yeah.
will it do as well as they kind of
It's not going to
expected
be.
the first one? Because the first one was a massive hit, 2011.
It was talked about.
Let's release a second one 10 years later and hope for the best. I just feel like, surely not, but maybe. Marketing wise, it definitely wasn't in your face when the original was. It was everywhere.
I just
Yeah.
don't know where they can go with the blue people. They've already covered Pocahontas.
But no, in terms of the Oppenheimer thing, I think Tenet was just, not great.
He did Dunkirk after Interstellar.
Yeah.
That
He
was
did. Dunkirk was good. Yeah, but in terms of like, I guess with those, I'd be interested to see. I don't really know what Oppenheimer's fully about. So
Nukes.
Is it just about nukes? Is it based on a true story or like
I don't know.
based on an existing story?
Yeah, so Oppenheimer was considered
Yeah, I
the
thought so.
father of the atomic bomb. So he was
So
a
I watched-
scientist.
yeah, I
he was
watched a clip of
scientist.
him, like some famous quote. I can't remember it now.
I've become the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah,
one.
that one, yeah.
And I think that's what kind of excites me about it, because I saw the teaser for it last night, which does feel very much like they cobbled together some. It's not really a very good trailer, I think, but what they've got is, I think it shows that it's going to kind of be about this kind of turmoil that the scientists go through, where they're pursuing this huge idea, this humanity-defining idea, and also facing up to the reality of like what it means, because it is like, think of it, nuclear weapons are our big bad, I think, like as in there's nothing else that is so primordially destructive beyond climate change.
I guess you have to,
the nuclear weapons, like that much power is
There
terrifying.
would always be a ceiling for these things, right? There's always going to be the worst thing. They're always going to be working up to how do we make a weapon even bigger than this? How do we make something that's even more threatening or more like, until it's a point of like, oh shit, if we drop this on ourselves, we're fucked. We're all fucked. It's like, oh yeah. So I guess that's where we call it there.
Yeah. Well,
But
because also
they'll still probably try to keep making even more inventive, crazy fucking weapons that'll destroy people.
yeah.
But this just happens to
it's
destroy
a risk,
everything.
isn't it? Exactly. Because it's so destructive that like we are all collectively now less safe because it's only going to take one madman
It makes you wonder
to ruin the life. You know, like,
you hear
and
how
that's
many
terrifying.
there are in the world. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Just one person fucks up.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might just spill your tea. What if someone just spills it over a console? It's like, oh fuck! I think it's gonna go off. What do I do? Well, I mean,
You'd hope
we haven't
that,
trained for this.
You hope that the nukes wouldn't set
You know,
off from a single keyboard.
But that's of course. Of
Sticky
course.
keyboard on this
Ow.
ship.
But this is why I guess they worry about like
Yeah.
other countries having control of these things because look at that explosion in Beirut
Yeah.
where they just stored a load of like fertilizer underneath a bay or whatever it was,
pier, yeah.
and it just blew up to the like
That explosion was insane.
visually it was amazing to witness.
Turns out that was the Chris Nolan explosion.
Oh, so they filmed it at least.
That was
properly.
Oppenheimer
on
early.
IMAX.
No, that was
It
a
was
real
bonkers,
devastating
wasn't it?
event.
Like, what an incredibly crazy thing to see. Like, when I first saw that clip, I thought it must have been a small nuclear weapon that had been used in a offensive way.
Whilst we were seeing it from people's windows, and
Yeah.
just the fact that just this entire area, all the windows were just blasted inwards.
Yeah.
It's weird to
Fucking
see
hell!
something.
I didn't know what the death count was for that area.
We only ever see explosions when they're like full CG. Like to see it for
Yeah.
real was weird.
There are a lot of CGI
it
designers
had, like,
just
the
literally
shockwave.
studying these real explosions.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I need to
yeah.
figure out how to make it look like this because that's
Yeah.
what really happened. Look at that fucking plume and the fucking
wild.
shockwave.
Yeah.
Impressive. But
Anyway,
that's
back to
an
the-
example of that kind of an accident happened.
Yeah.
That could have been prevented. It was left there for years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, worry. That's what you need over Christmas. More worry. Where were
What's
we?
our
So
next hypothetical?
we're on the ship. I don't know how we really resolved this
I think
ship situation.
Smith's got the right idea. A swift death. is
Fly the
what we
whole ship
need.
towards the sun.
this thing's fucked.
Isn't it similar to the film Passengers? Which
Yeah,
has
I thought
got-
it was originally a Passengers thing.
It sounds similar to it. So the film Passengers has Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt because he's in everything.
She
now.
regrets being in that film.
Well, because it was a bit of a shit film.
Yeah, I've not seen
I
it.
think they were trying to make like a romantic film in space,
And it
but
wasn't
the actual
really the
practical
focus
element of it. And then there was that the barman who was, what was his name?
Oh,
famous actor as well.
yeah. The Welsh guy.
Welsh guy, yeah.
Shit.
But yeah,
Christian Bale.
No.
That film was quite forgettable. I think I watched it on a plane.
Yeah. Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. That's the one. Thank you.
Sheeners.
But that was a similar situation where I think he woke her up early,
Oh, I see.
and there was probably a motivation there. So
Oh, I see.
it's extremely obvious.
His Snow White.
I mean, it's the implication. It's fucking space.
It's the implication.
It's the implication. But
I think I'm getting to the point of my
I didn't enjoy that film.
my bigotry where I just don't like watching anything with Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah.
So for me,
Same.
I started watching it and I was like, I like Jennifer Lawrence, and Michael Sheen.
I still haven't watched Guardians
But I was
2,
just
actually.
like,
But that's just because I'm fatigued by Marvel.
yeah,
That was still of the time where those movies were all right. Nowadays, I have no interest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like the Star Wars until Andor came around.
yeah.
Honestly, yeah, Andor was a breath of fresh
Just
air.
so fucking...
Obi-Wan was... I watched only 2 episodes. 'cause
Yeah,
it
same.
just got a bit boring.
It was a
But
really boring
maybe I
thing
can
for
push
them to
through. I
focus
don't
on.
know. Yeah.
They just focus on boring shit. Like Obi-Wan, it was just like, oh, so they are really just going to have him as this, like, I know it progresses, but like initially just this powerless fuck on this dusty ass planet. And it's just like, it's fucking boring. Like, you show me something new. I know that he was here, you know, like we saw him when he back in the old films.
So I said they couldn't get through Andor. To be fair, like first couple of episodes are quite slow, but like honestly,
It gets great.
there's a good payoff and it's worth watching. So I recommend it. If
There's
you
so many bits to like.
feel like it, yeah.
Like from the corpo security stuff at the start where they're like this fucking shitty police force going in their like little things, to the way it evolves into like the other threads.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be lead up to Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed Rogue One, I think you'd really enjoy it. And
It's
to be
the
honest,
same
Rogue One
director.
was done really well.
Same
I
director.
enjoyed that one.
There's going to be season 2, I think, which is cool. Anyway,
Next one. Is there
next hypothetical.
Okay.
What have we got?
This hypothetical is the following. You're an entrepreneur with the ability to freeze time for just your employees, not you. What is your business plan?
Okay.
This sounds like modern slavery. Is this what this is going?
It is, but there's also that threat that you're not able to freeze time your employees do. So you have to be a real good boss. To
Oh,
make
wait,
sure
wait,
they
hang
don't
on.
fuck
So-
you over.
They have
power,
control over like
They
freezing
have the
themselves.
power. You don't.
and they freeze time. So what? How do you experience it? You suddenly experiencing them doing
They
loads
just
of
pop
work.
out of
So you
existence.
give them a power. You're basically, so it says obviously you're the entrepreneur with the ability to freeze time for just your employees.
Yeah.
So once you're,
You're
like,
the one that
you're
pushes the
employed, now I have a power to I can freeze time.
Right, I'm going to freeze you now, and you're going to do X, Y, and Z for this company, and then unfreeze, and you hope to God they've done it.
So what? I'm trying to just wrap my brain around. So you're freezing this person,
You're freezing time
freezing time
for them.
For them. Okay.
So they have
So no. So it's
time.
it's 9 a.m. You said all right. It's going to be 9 a.m. when you finish work.
Mhm.
All right. So how many hours are you making them work?
That's the thing. Like
And
once
then it's
you
just like
freeze
you're not
time
losing
for
any
them,
time, and then you can just enjoy the rest
they
of
can
your day.
do whatever they want. They could shove a whole cucumber up your ass, and you wouldn't even know
I
until
wouldn't
you
know.
unfreeze time.
Wow.
Yes.
Boom! There it is.
Oh, hello.
Whoops! Who did that?
You'd have to relies on trust.
Yeah,
There's a
that's,
big
that's
trust
the
element.
thing. Like you'd have to get employees.
obviously,
It's
like-
got to be research scientists.
Yeah.
It's got to be research scientists because you could just, allow your research scientists to just do loads of
Spend all that
medical
time,
research. And for you, it'd just be like a blink in the eye, and they've done days and days of research. I think
Yeah.
that would be my honest answer. My funny answer would be...
Cucumber up the arse. You could get Suicide Squad style chips in their brain
Oh.
that if they were to leave or
You'd have
affect
no idea.
you in any way,
Yeah.
if they touch your body, they explode.
Right. Oh, okay. So you're not allowed to touch me. Yes. Maybe you're behind a wall. Maybe. I mean, I imagine in this scenario, you're like, behind a
Shielded.
bulletproof screen. You've got a button. You go, I'm going to pause time now. Get on with it. So
Don't
would you
rob
try
anything.
and contain them into a place, or like if they, like say, they were researchers, maybe they were in a lab. That's what maybe you would do.
Or you would imprison them
Not imprison them, just have a space for them to work, and then But if they can,
without doors.
so can they? Am I the one turning them back on again to
Yeah.
like stop time?
Yeah, because you're like 9 a.m.
So it's 9 a.m. So if I press
freeze
it
time.
once and then press it again, almost immediately after, it's like you've done all your work. Nice one.
and it's
Yeah.
been years for them. It could have been.
Could have been years. I mean, I
I'm
imagine
just-
they can rest in this time. They can do.
How
they can
much
have a
time-
life.
How do you decide?
Do
Is
they
that-
age?
Yeah, like what happens?
They come back just shit.
So they're
I
basically
went for a cup
they're
of coffee.
aging faster than everyone around them. That's their sacrifice. So they got to be pretty fucking up for it.
I think that
I would develop a metal
worried what
ring
the rules
system
are.
called Satan's Halo that you'd put around their head. You'd shave their heads. You'd clamp this metal ring around their head,
Right.
and then you'd just tape either side above the ears small car batteries that you could remotely activate.
They're so heavy.
That would just shock the living shit out of them if they disobey you. And it's called Satan's
could
Halo.
happen like
and if they try and
100
take it
years
off,
in.
it explodes.
Right.
Sorry, go
Right.
on. That's what I would
That's
do.
to keep them in line.
That's to keep them
I
in
think there's a
line.
bit of a paradox with you unfreezing time
Yeah.
because you freeze time. They got unlimited amount of time.
To try and work out how to get rid of Satan's Halo.
Technically, you never unfreeze the button.
Oh, what's that noise?
It's just a chair exploding. No
What the
biggie.
hell was that sound? That was
Something
Worrying.
pinged off.
Wait,
At least the future
it's
scientists.
the future freeze guys.
Oh my god.
They're pinging your seat.
Stop fucking with me. I'll kill you with Satan's Halo.
I think I've seen a prank video where
Satan's Halo.
I assume it was a prank video where someone's chair did they were sat at a stool and then suddenly it dropped and they're like, oh no, and they kind of just like pulled themselves up and there was just this pole. But like I think it was just obviously like a prank because I think that would have impaled them to the point where they were probably like
That's now a new
incapacitated.
phobia of mine.
But now I was just thinking,
Paul
imagine
Stools having
he
like
suddenly
a rig,
sinks. He's like, I've got to go.
Oh no! Somebody put 6
Because
hypodermic
there's no
needles.
way that fucker's going in clean.
No.
Not in that
Hell,
scenario.
man.
Surely not.
Jokes on you. I've been time cucumbered.
I pre-lube before I go on any stool.
Just in case.
No, but yeah, keeping control of the movie quite hard, I think, and also like
You'd have to give them the unfreeze button. Sorry, to fix the paradox.
I think there must be a rule in this in terms of like, so a minute in your life it costs X amount of
Okay.
time. So that because obviously if you're pressing the button, so if it's a case of you press the button, suddenly you get distracted or an alarm goes off. Oh fuck! Okay, I've got to leave the building. You come back, press the button again. It's been an hour.
They've
They're
all
fucking
died.
aged. They're just
Yeah,
like,
old people
you
there.
never,
Hold on.
you never unfroze. Well, my family.
I forgot who you were.
Oh right, yeah. No, sorry, I went for a cup of tea
Sorry.
and an alarm went off, and I kind of just
We
got
had to
distracted.
go out, fire alarm, and
What if you unfreeze
Yeah,
and there's
we
like,
went for a cheeky beer down the pub. So
time got away from me.
time got away.
Really got away from you.
So, do you want me to freeze you again? Maybe spend a bit of time with your family. In
What
that
if you
time?
unfreeze and it's like 5 generations deep and they don't know who you are anymore?
Fucking hell!
Isn't that just the plot of Assassin's Creed?
You don't know who I am
It's
anymore.
My name's
freeze.
Ezio. No, you're not. You're not Italian.
Is this something sort of similar to Severance? I guess it is similar to Severance in the sense that they are, but the time isn't changing for them. So time is staying the same. Their memory is being altered.
I'll also develop something called Satan's cock ring, where it goes around the dick, and it's 2 small D-cell batteries hooked up to a Bluetooth controller.
I feel like if you've got the technology to freeze time,
I love that.
You don't need to do these ghetto
really,
stuff.
You're just you're really balked fucking Doc Brown. Just like, hey Marty, I've got this great idea. Put this devil's band on.
Halo 6.
So you're telling me I shouldn't have
Doc, what's this gonna do?
That's what they're developing. They're developing new Satan's girdle. Is
Satan's butt plug.
Satan
for the sinners.
Satan's toe rings. Satan's tongue piercing.
Pretty dark.
Satan's nose ring. Satan's ear piercing. You can see where I'm going with it. Every single one.
Quite a lot of branding. You can have a whole Apple Store based.
The Satan's ear piercings are just button cell batteries as well. Like there's an appropriate size battery.
And there's like an entire demographic of people who want to wear them. Just for
like
a kink,
punks.
Like a kink thing, where it's just like, well, it might go off at any time, but I don't care, bro. I don't care about life. And it's like, oh wow, cool.
It's nice that you're not
making
making
Satan's cock ring too.
Proprietary technology though. It's
it's open source. I'm like Tim Berners-Lee.
You can top it for any car battery. Or D-cell.
Any kind of shock you want. I mean, you want to get those high amp truck batteries, the real money makers. Those ones will probably kill you, especially if you've got 2 of them, one on either ear.
Well, I think we solved this.
We solved it to the point where I think we're just enslaving someone in terms of enslaving them via time.
Research,
Which is also kind of reminds me of that John Hamm episode of Black Mirror where he's in that snow globe.
Oh yeah,
which is basically an alternate space, which I think they use the same idea again for the Star Trek episode, but as an alternate brain. So their consciousness has been put into a game, for other people to enjoy, but they also just live there.
Yeah,
wild.
Literally like ship in a bottle, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So interesting ideas.
Kind of
this almost sounds a little bit slavey. Which isn't fun.
It's nice that you did Snow Globe though for the Christmas theme.
Yes, that was a Christmas special.
I can hear the jingle bells now.
It was a festive episode, that one. There's a bonus one here, which we may as well have a look at. It says, my body is covered in fingernails. This was from Mark Davey, by the way.
From our email, yeah.
Yeah, saying, my body is covered in fingernails. It blocks a lot of sunlight and wind chill. Is the future of human evolution as we see more... Is this the future... as we see more climate extremes? So being completely
you're a pangolin. You're a human pangolin.
But it's all fingernails.
That's similar material, right? It's got to be like keratin. It's
keratin. Yeah.
Ketamine.
It's not ketamine.
There could be some ketamine involved.
I don't think so.
Imagine being covered in fingernails.
Well, I guess, I mean, like you say, if it's just one person living amongst us with fingers, it's like the one person who's got hair all out of their face and stuff, and they're like the bear man or what they call it.
Nauseating.
The hairy boy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, whoa.
Well, the 2 guys
don't look at his face.
The ones that have the tree disease and stuff, they have to get it all chopped off. Again, just whoa!
Well, I think the tree disease is probably closest to what this is.
Real life ent.
I'm really sorry for them.
But I feel like if it was an evolutionary thing, we wouldn't be that surprised by it. If it's like, several hundred generations from now, we start getting nails like on our knuckles.
They start growing up to the knuckle.
This sounds like a Guillermo del Toro monster.
Yeah,
this is what it sounds like. Covered in fingernails. What was the actual question?
It just says, is this the future of human evolution as we see more climate extremes? It's a hypothetical idea. Would it be the future, do you think?
As we see more.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think we've got long enough to evolve.
No, when you look back at what's the oldest known human? Is it like Neanderthal?
Yeah.
I want to say this is quite a broad range.
Because what's really that
between 50 and 300,000 years?
Well, that's the oldest.
In my head, 70,000 years ago was maybe either the first known civilization or first human beings.
But from what
longer
remains we've discovered, how different are those bodies other than like the skull shape?
Well, there's
stuff?
Technically 2. There's
different
Homo
species.
sapien and Neanderthal.
Oh, okay.
Which we killed off.
Well, they think there's lots of they don't know whether it was interbred or killed off.
We walked through the centre of town recently. There's a lot of Neanderthals wandering.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, what?
Denisovans was another one. There's also a theory that suggests that there were like 3 distinct groups of human beings, or what we could call human beings.
Denisovans, yeah.
Yeah. There could be like.
Apparently, they were really smart.
There could be African. There could be European. There could be Asian. Like there could be many different sort of species of what we would call a human being, and they all blend together.
Do you think
somehow.
people who are 8 foot tall should breed with other people who are
100%, 100%?
So they can
I've
then
said
start
this,
the change so that more people are 8 foot tall.
I want a fantasy
Which I would say
world,
but bigger surely is worse because of the size and scale.
Yeah, there's an
They're gonna
ideal
need to eat
size
more.
for a human being.
I saw a clip of a basketball player who was so tall that he was just picking it up and just gently dropping it into the net because he was that fucking tall. But if he breeds with someone who's equally as tall, will the child be also as tall? It's like, I mean, the odds are they're going to be pretty big. So if you create a family of this...
Have you ever been to like a cider farm or like a potato farm where they have like sorting sizes? Like, so you run... Imagine, right, it's a really simple process. Imagine you got all your apples or all your potatoes and you need to sort them into different sizes, right? So you get the real big ones, you get some of the little ones, and they have different uses, different purposes, different values, right? So what you do is you get a chute, right? And then you angle a board at the bottom of that chute, right? So there's a ramp, let's call it, not a chute, a ramp that goes down. The products hit a board. That board is at an angle that channels the products, but there's like an angled cut underneath it, so there's an ever greater gap as the product rolls down the side of this thing. So the smaller ones are the first to go under, right? And they go into their own box on the other side. Then the larger ones. So we just do that with human beings.
Someone just said this is just eugenics, I guess, but... I was just trying to think of like...
we're just trying to have fun, all right?
I think just it would be nice to have a civilization of giant people.
So we
absolutely, and also that would enhance the chances of a more fantasy world where you've got like the giants, you've got the elves, the people that live the longest, you've got the...
What's the society gets the tallest people and they become king breeder.
So labour's a water flume.
Yeah. You chuck
Basically,
the baby...
you're putting a load of pregnant
down
women in a line and they're...
No, the babies have to go down the ramp.
Yeah, the babies are getting flung out.
Yeah. No, the women can give birth in normal places, but the babies do have to go down the slide.
Well, cut out the middleman.
Why do that, though? That seems like needlessly entertaining.
I mean, if you're going to flume a kid, you may as well.
Yeah.
Also, I'm thinking...
Something for a D&D campaign, at least.
Yeah, some sort of dystopic future.
Anything can go there. People won't start screaming eugenics there, will they? No. Like, it's not real.
It's a fantasy
world.
This isn't real either.
Well, get over it.
I don't believe there will be 8 foot people mating with other 8 foot people. And if they are, I want to watch.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
They're going to have
watch
terrible back and knee problems.
Well, I just put them out in the belt.
Fucking.
You just want to watch tall people fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you...
I'm into bigs.
Amazonian women.
Big with big.
Yeah,
Amazonian. I just want to get completely dominated by a giant Amazonian woman.
A big old 9-footer.
Do what you want. I'm small.
I think that's someone that's like perfectly proportioned, just scaled up. I feel like 8-footers would be gangly.
Yeah.
Like belters from The Expanse.
Belters, yeah.
I want a 9-footer. When are we going to get the first 9-footer?
I think
has there been a 9-footer?
No, I think the tallest man was 8
dude who was like
foot
really like a basketball player who was like
Yao Ming was only 7'4".
Only. Honestly though, it's shocking.
Tallest man in
this
the
guy
world.
was not playing basketball. He was literally just
the ball
8'11".
Like,
that's pretty close.
No one
that's
can
pretty
reach
goddamn close.
When did they live?
Is it one of those black and white? 1918 to 1940.
Let me see. 8'11".
Oh yes, I think I remember this picture. There's a picture we can't show on
but
stream.
Didn't he die real young? God, he's so big.
It's a very faint
He's much
picture. It's
bigger
very
than my
tall.
phone.
I hope. Did he have any children?
Is he just stood next to an average
human.
sized? What is he, 5'10" or something? What?
Did he have any children? We need to breed these
average
giants.
sized dad.
His dad is an average sized man.
Oh, that means that he had a
it's Robert Wadlow
problem though.
Wow.
So like.
Look, he created
just
the
keep
tallest
growing,
man.
Yeah, as in, so that's not genetically
He's staying in the Guinness Book
The same happened to Andre the Giant.
Andre.
Yeah. He had a constant growth deficiency.
Yeah. I got that one with my dick.
Weird.
Right.
Anyway.
You in the Guinness Book of Records for that?
My dick is, yeah. Can you help me get it out?
I don't believe it. No, I won't.
Ow.
No. You weren't in that documentary. You don't.
They deployed him in World War II.
What do you mean? They just sent him in there.
Robert.
He's our Mega Man. Send him in. We see them right there. That tall guy.
They rescued people off a
They've got giants.
Dunkirk beach.
He couldn't keep his head down in the
They've got fucking
trenches.
giants.
That's just disrespectful.
Rain down.
We're fucked. They've got giants, and he's just got a club.
Did
Did
he-
he give him like a Warhammer era weapon? Like, this is unnecessary.
He's just got a club. That's fucked up.
They put him in a loin.
He didn't give him a gun. He's got a club. His fingers don't fit through the thing. He can't shoot
Does he
with
need
it.
to be in that loincloth?
Oh my god, that's amazing. Did
Robert,
he
what
make
have
it
they
through?
done to you?
Did he make it through the wall?
giants.
I don't
Did he
think
die
so.
in the wall? Because that's just tragic. Otherwise,
What happened
because
to you?
like the trenches wouldn't be deep enough.
No.
Should we look over the trench yet? Well, I can see everything from. Oh god, they're over there.
There they are.
Shit, duck, buddy, come on, fucking hell, this guy.
Please, guys. I'm gonna
This
have to
guy
lie
just
down and
completely
stretch.
cut our location. He's shown everyone where we are.
They've got giants. Take your club,
Yeah, he
Robert.
just kept growing.
Did he have any children?
He kept continuously growing through life.
He like 1 year before his death, he became the tallest person, passing John Rogan
Oh my god.
on 1940. He was 8'11".
It's strong. It's our nose and ears that grow continuously
They just
through
keep
our life.
growing, yeah.
But
Is
imagine,
it?
Yeah.
I think so. Your
Nose
nose,
and ears
yeah,
keep
and
going.
not like at excessive speeds, but like they will get slowly
There's
bigger.
no like DNA.
Whereas
or
I think
whatever
your
to
skull
stop.
shape stays the same, doesn't it? Or does that get bigger
But your
too? I
brain
don't
gets
know.
bigger than you.
Your skull
Your
shape
brain
dictates your
expands,
intelligence.
and then when your brain touches all the sides, you die.
No, that's a pug.
No, that's yeah, it's King Charles, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Any of those
Tiny-brained dog.
boggle-eyed freaks, I call those
Yeah.
dogs. My nan's got one, and he seems demented.
Oh,
It's
Shih Tzu.
because their little eyes bulge out. Bless them.
It's just like, and it's like a tooth is poking out of its mouth, and its tongue constantly hangs out. It's,
and this
like-
is
just
probably
looking-
why we shouldn't do that to humans.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we
but
shouldn't
we're
be.
not gonna make
Oh
them
god,
freaky
no, we
looking.
shouldn't do that.
Really, 8 foot tall.
You think they're freaks, Trott? He's a beautiful human being. He's a giant.
He died
a lot
because
to
of
get
that.
that.
Just because you
breathing
naturally hate tall people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I like being average.
No,
so
we shouldn't make it so there's an entire subset of humans who are
you're
just
making
growing
like,
continuously.
you're enforcing races like fantasy
Yeah,
races.
I want a fantasy world, and I will create it anew.
So
I
you've,
will.
got, you've got to start creating monsters.
So you've
then
got to
first.
create goblins and orcs.
There are plenty of monsters already, Ross.
I
Just
know.
look at our
I
government.
saw the
Oh,
Jeff
wow.
Dahmer. Oh
Damn.
shit!
Shit.
All right.
No, look, Matt Hancock redeemed himself because he went to a jungle and ate spiders and shit.
He's just
Yeah.
a regular guy.
He's just a regular guy. He definitely didn't, give money to his mates and just, fuck up a lot of things.
And kill all those old people in care homes.
Yes.
Blood is on
They
your
are
hands,
terrible.
Hancock.
Genuinely terrible people.
We're going to make you a goblin.
Good job Craig isn't here.
I know. I don't want anyone
Hancock
sticking up
fan.
for him.
Goddamn apologist.
Anyway, now let's
yes.
round off our festive
I
hat
think so,
chat,
yes.
shall we? Thank you very much for listening in today. We hope you all have a great holiday season.
Yep.
Thank you again to our big Patreon supporters.
Mm-hmm.
I realise it's been on that shot for ages. Sorry about that. Come support us on patreon.com/hatfilms, and in the new year, you get to decide the hypotheticals, like that really long one in space.
Space!
And it's just a way to support us. We also got other tiers on there for like our D&D show Booty, which in the new year there might be more D&D-esque things.
Yeah, we were
So-
having an interesting conversation the other day about a completely new idea.
Yeah.
Which, yeah,
It's what I
was
was
good.
yeah.
Not that we're going to abandon Booty. We might go back to it. Maybe not as the next D&D series we do. Maybe after that.
Yeah.
But then Chris Trott had an idea to do something.
Had an epiphany.
Yeah, which is actually sounds really fun.
So that'll be interesting. And yeah, you can also support just Hat Films in general on Patreon as well.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you in the new year.
Yeah,
for
it'll
more
be a couple of
hat
weeks
checks.
before the next one. So
Indeed.
enjoy yourself.
We're going to have a Christmas.
Don't go
event.
crazy.
Don't do too much smack
too
over
much
Christmas.
Too
smack.
much.
Not
Just
too
a
much.
time. Be sensible
But if
with
you
it.
want to get used to needles, if you've got needophobia,
Need
try heroin.
Try smack.
Try heroin.
I always say, right, to save
You can
space for
smoke
Christmas,
heroin.
you can smoke heroin. That's usually how people get into it.
Just don't even buy it. Otherwise, the temptation will be too strong.
It'll be
Like,
too
what is
strong.
it like, though? Don't even think. Don't even
Opiates
try
change
to.
the structure of your brain and make it incredibly hard to quit beyond just normal addiction.
Yeah.
It's something to do with physiological
PSA.
changes.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do those
hard
drugs.
drugs.
Do
Like,
some
come on.
drugs.
Do the cool ones.
If you need a paracetamol, have one.
Yeah. If it can kill your granny, it can kill you. I always say that's my rule.
Yeah. A lot of things can kill a granny these days, though.
Yeah.
Cold temperatures.
Well,
It's
But
like
wrap up
breathe.
warm because it's might be cold.
That's true. I think they know how to look after themselves.
No, we should go through all the
I think we covered it.
all the bases.
We'll put up a big document on Patreon on how to look after yourself.
Yeah.
over the winter period. Anyway, have a great day.
Yes.
Have a great period, and we'll see you after that period.
Enjoy your period.
Enjoy your period, everyone.
Period.
Bye.
Bye.